Hello everyone and welcome to episode 11 of Off the Grid, the series where we take a look at tracks that have hosted F1 races in the past and tracks that have never been on the F1 schedule and then see if we can beat a target lap time set to us by ChatGPT on Assetto Corsa. This weekend, one of the most prestigious races and one of the first major races of the year takes place beside the Florida coast. We don't have 24 hours for one of the Endurance Triple Crown events, but let's head to the beach of Daytona. The Daytona International Speedway in Daytona Beach, Florida, just 80 kilometers north of Orlando, opened in its permanent racing circuit form in 1959, with the road and oval combined circuit opening in 1985. At 5.729 or 3.560 miles in length, the Daytona road course will be the 8th longest on the calendar, just longer than Kota and shorter than Monza. With 54 laps, it would have one less than Monza to make up the required distance for a Grand Prix. 12 turns, 8 right and 4 left, which include the 31-degree bank turns of the oval section, are mostly found in the infield first sector, with the middle and end of the lap being very high speed. For comparison, the banking in Zandvoort's turn 3 hairpin is just 19 degrees, showing how extreme Daytona's banking is, being one of the steepest in the world. There could be two DRS zones, even if one of them is a bit sketchy. The first be from between turn 6 and 7, exiting the infield section onto the oval, to the bus stop chicane at turn 8. The second could be from the exit of the bus stop at turn 11, through the final bank turn across the line into turn 1. With the high speed into turn 1 and the challenge of coming off the oval into the road section could make this zone tricky. Although Formula 1, IndyCar or any open wheel series doesn't race in Daytona, it still hosts some high profile races, such as the Rolex 24 at Daytona this weekend as part of the IMSA Sports Car Championship, with NASCAR racing on the oval circuit. As for the 24-hour, Hurley Haywood and Scott Pruitt are the most successful drivers, winning the race 5 times each, with Porsche being the most successful manufacturer, taking victory 19 times. In 1985, the current circuit layout was completed with the modification of the opening turns and the famous bus stop chicane along the backstretch. The distance between the chicane entry and exit was extended, giving more opportunity for passing through the section of track. In 2001, Daytona experienced its darkest day. Dale Earnhardt was killed on the final lap of the Daytona 500 NASCAR race, following contact which resulted in Earnhardt experiencing a head-on collision into the outside wall. He suffered a fractured skull due to his head being unsupported, as hands, head and neck support devices weren't widely used in any motorsport at the time. Following this, the iconic number 3 was retired from use in NASCAR. As it's being held this weekend, it's obvious that the 24 Hours of Daytona is held during the winter in Florida, compared to other 24-hour races like Le Mans, which are held during the summer. This means that most of Daytona's race takes place in the dark. And although the track is fully floodlit so NASCAR can race here in the night, the lighting is limited to 20% of its capacity for the IMSA race, so that cars are still dependent on their headlights. Since F1 doesn't race at ovals, even if it is just a section of the track, and Daytona has no FIA grade, I think it's safe to say that we won't be seeing it on the calendar anytime soon. So once again, Assetto Corsa it is. ChatGPT has said a 1 minute 30 to a 1:35 is achievable, so let's get into it and see how it goes. So under the lights here in Daytona, decided to do it on the floodlit track since I can. A bit of a change. We're into turn 5 on our first flying lap. Just getting a bit too happy on the throttle on the exit, and once again on our first flying lap we go for a spin. But I decided to keep going on that lap, and as we cross the line set at 138.8, which is only about 6 seconds off our target, so I already have a feeling that this one could be a bit too easy and I feel like we're going to achieve it. But we keep going on yet another lap here, then have a good run through the opening sector of the track, the opening section, exiting the International Horseshoe, through the kink, and now into turn 5. Hopefully we don't have as much trouble as we did on the last lap on the exit. Trying to take it nice and easy, but once again, I thought the car had gripped up, decided to put down the throttle, and then I decided that it hadn't gripped up yet. On another flying lap then, we're well up on our time because we haven't gone for a spin, but into the bus stop chicane I completely missed my braking point. I was a bit distracted, didn't brake and just ended up going straight on, unfortunately. But we come across the tri-oval now, across the line to start another lap. into turn 1. Tricky corner to get right, coming off the banking onto the infield section. You can run wide on the entry to the corner and makes it a bit easier. But through turn 1 and 2 now, into the international horseshoe of turn 3. Lock up a bit and go a bit wide, so not the best line there. Now through turn 4, the dog leg left hand kick, and into turn 5. Our nemesis so far in this session. Taking it really easy, making sure to not spin out. Not the most ideal line, but we managed to keep it facing in the right direction. And now through turn 6 and turn 7 as we head onto the oval section of the track. Now you can see how steep the banking is, how extreme it is as we open DRS. Missed our upshift to aid there, not really sure what I was doing, a bit distracted doing this session. And now into the bus stop chicane. Going to try and hit our braking point this time. Don't get the greatest line on the entry, but on the exit, flat out about halfway through there. And now we re-enter the banking. Not opening DRS yet, I decided to not open it till now. Just make it a bit fair. In real life in F1 they don't always have the DRS open at the beginning of the straight because it makes it too powerful. But we crossed the line to finish this lap. We set at 123.163, and on our first proper lap in this session we managed to already smash our target. So for that lap I hadn't made any changes to the setup or optimised the ERS deployment, so I decided to just do that, keep going for a few laps within the session time, and now I'm going to let you see what was my best lap around Daytona in this Formula 1 car. And after this, I started to get a bit curious as to what it'd be like doing the oval layout in a Formula 1 car and then seeing how that compares to the NASCAR lap record around Daytona. So that's what I did then, and going to have a look at that right now. So we're going to start, I think this was my third lap that I did. I did all 3 laps with different variations of ERS deployment, just trying to figure out which was the right one to use so that I got the most benefit for the duration of the lap. The first few I ended up running out about a third of the way through the lap and then being really slow towards the end. As you can see now, we're heading down the back stretch. We're about 2/10 off my personal best. This was the second lap with a bit optimised. But now through the final bank turn you can see that now we're equal with our time. We're just going to continue to gain time on the run to the line, have an ERS to deploy. As we cross the line, going to improve by 3/10 and set a 42.622. So just for the oval first, the modern NASCAR qualifying lap record set in 2024 was a 49.136. So we were about 8.5 seconds faster than that. And the NASCAR lap record in the race is quicker with slipstream, but we didn't have any slipstream either. So just going to use the modern qualifying lap record for that. In terms of the sports car road course, we managed to smash the target set to us by ChatGPT of a 132.5. We were about just under 10 seconds quicker than that, so I'm not sure whether ChatGPT was thinking that Formula 1 was going to be a lot slower or if this track wasn't very accurate to its real life counterpart. But either way, it is a very fun track to drive. It was actually one of the first tracks that I bought on iRacing when I started that, when I wanted to race in the Daytona 24 hours. I still haven't raced in that race, so maybe this year. I'm recording this well in advance, and I think when it comes out, that iRacing Daytona 24-hour race is actually either this coming weekend or last weekend or next weekend. I'm not really too sure, but either way, I would love to see Formula One race here, but I don't think we're ever going to see that happen just due to how the banking is around here. It's just too extreme, and I don't think that Daytona would want to modify the track in the way that would be needed to bring it up to FIA Grade 1 safety standards. At least we still get to see what it'll be like on a settled course, and we still get to see high class motor racing around this great track. But that's it for this episode of Off the Grid. I hope you did enjoy. If you did, make sure to leave a like, and if you're not subscribed, make sure you do that before you go. But thanks very much for watching. Until the next one, see you then.